I'm from Miami, and me and I guess you could say she's my wife, we separated, and I just didn't want to be around her no more, so I left. I just left out of the state of Miami. Not the state. See, y'all got me nervous. I left out of Miami, and I met so many people on South Beach from New York. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go hit New York. So I just came up here. I wasn't homeless down there, but when I came here, I had money, but I just ended up going through a shelter system and being homeless and drinking and clubbing and drugging. So it put me in a point where, like, I just need some help, you know? Just keep dying on the inside. It is what it is.
The people referred to as transient guests, they have it rough as far as being out on the streets during the day, I guess, but they say that they feel very warm and welcome here. There seems to be a good spirit about this place. We don't have a metal detector or a big security guard, you know, searching them when they walk in, and we try to treat them with respect and dignity. I think we have 96 beds. We have bunk beds for men in our program and the guests, and we also have sleeping mats that we lay out when we have more than 96 people who need somewhere to stay. If the weather is really bad, if it's really cold, we don't want anyone obviously to get frostbite or freeze to death, so we make room wherever we safely can. We do have a bed lottery for whenever we have more people show up than we have beds for, and so if we have 96 beds and 100 people show up, then 4 people don't get one of those beds. As far as the men in the program, the residential program, they go through the program for 9 months, and then they have 3 months after that to stay here rent-free while they get a job and start saving money for their own place. In my experience here, it's been difficult for them to find a job. For some, it's because of their criminal record. For some, it's because they don't have a legitimate work experience. On their resume, you can't list street hustling, for example, or jobs under the table, per se.
As far as work goes, no, there's work. I know it's a recession or whatever they call it, but if I were to leave right now, I'd find work. I've seen some guys come through here like recently that, you know, they're willing to get it. They're willing to get out there and find work. I know when I first touched down, I found 2 jobs quick. Except the ones that are just hopeless, that are sitting on the bench, that physically, you know, they don't take care of themselves, they can't walk, they smell, they're not bathing. Yeah, that's gonna be hard for them, but they don't even care about work anyway. But as far as just the average one running around here homeless, no, they get up every day, I watch them, and they know their spots. Wherever they're going to get that money. New York is blessed. These guys can stand out there on the corner and hold their hand out. You know, so if you get in that cycle of coming from shelter to shelter and place to place, and redoing your benefits and re-getting food stamps, and you're not, a lot of guys don't even look for work. You stay here too long in the system, it's sweet. I hate to say it, but New York got the best of the best when it comes to being homeless. So if you don't be careful, yeah, you could get stuck in it. For me, no. There's always something, there's always a hustle in New York, a good hustle. Not just, I'm not saying hustle is drugs. The hustle is just getting up early in the morning, beating that sun up and going out and finding something. It's here. It's definitely here. It's not no problem. There's plenty of shelters and there's plenty of places to sleep. And if you go hungry, you gotta be crazy because there's plenty of food. New York, homeless are spoiled. They better stay up here, because if you get out, you leave this city, you go to other cities, you're gonna see what it's like. I've been shot, stabbed, been in prison. But the time on the street is probably the worst because you really are hopeless. You really are just, even when I first got here, before I went to the Bellevue, I stayed on the streets for like 2 weeks. Mind you, I ain't never seen no snow. I'm freezing. You know, I'm picking up the snow and I'm just almost amazed. And I'm watching these people walk around and sleeping on benches, and It's freezing cold. I'm like, what's going on? So it's hard. It's hard in every possible way. It's hard physically. It's hard mentally. It's embarrassing.
People don't like to see homelessness. You know, they fear that's like a fear to them. You know, and I think sometimes they look down. They look down at you.
For some, it's a choice. I think some don't like to follow rules or have restrictions or feel like they're not independent.
There used to be a stereotype. Homelessness came from only drug addicts, but then as if you look, there's a lot of homelessness because of different problems. It's not just drugs that makes people homeless these days.
And you have others who maybe 30 years ago would be in a mental institution. Because of a mental illness, they really can't live independently.
I think a huge part of that is bad choices and drugs, trying to all of a sudden catch up with your life with some drug or some drink and trying to get it all back within a day and realizing that you just sunk 10 more feet in the ground, you know. I think that's a big problem.
There's a lot of reasons now today for homelessness, not just a drug addiction. There's mental problems, there's families, there's rape, you know, there's people fleeing from their husbands, wives, and, you know, so there's different types of homelessness.
There are some that we call chronically homeless who have just sort of accepted their lot in life to be homeless.
I would like to see more people try to help and figure out the root of homelessness. You know, everybody has a different need, you know, just to look at it as homelessness. Figure out the root of homelessness.
I just think you gotta be careful how you view them, you know. A lot of it is their choice. A lot of it was my choice. I chose to run them streets. I chose to do what I did. So, you know, we reap what we sow. New York's got a big heart, you know. I mean, I gotta give it to New York City. I mean, the first time I really ever thought about New York is when the World Trade Center went down, and everybody was, oh God, what a catastrophe. But I seen the whole city come together. I seen everybody just trying to help each other. So I was like, you know what, I always heard about New York, but then when I got here, New York's got a big heart. There's always someone walking around a train or somewhere with some bucket, and he always got money. Somehow, some way, these people just keep breaking bread, and I just think that's amazing. Oh, man. You know what? I never graduated nothing in my life. I'm looking at these pictures of graduates, never even school. Only thing I graduated was prison. That's when I was young. I had to do 6 years, and that's because they kicked me out. First and foremost, I want to get back with my daughter, Janaea. I love her so much. I haven't been around her 2 years, and I called the other day, and the first words came out of my mouth was daddy. You know, I see men come around, but I let them know that they're not my daddy. I don't know what your beliefs are, but I know my beliefs are in Jesus. I know him. I have experiences with him. I should be dead a long time ago. I don't know what the Lord has in store for me. I think he's gonna have me in some kind of ministry, but I want to have a true life. Go to the park with my daughter, go to the movies, just be normal, just walk, even in the streets with holding her hand, you know, and let her know that I'm with her, you know. That's what I want.